everybody, this is Bronislava for HandMadeRukodelky. Today's project is to knit a baby beanie hat, which is actually for shaken baby syndrome project. Okay, and let me show you what I have been working in this video on, which is hat like this. Okay, and I actually already made two hats, and then I made another one from another yarn. This one is also cute, right? It's a little bit softer also because it's made out of cotton. I will be giving all the information below my video. Click on show more. There will be a lot more information. Also there will be a written pattern, okay? And this one is actually from worsted yarn, so this one required less stitches and less rows to knit. But pattern for this one is going to be on my blog, and pattern for this one is going to be on my blog, okay? And this one was actually knitted exactly the same way as this one. You need to cast on 70 stitches for this project. When you're finished casting on your stitches, 70 of them, you will knit one and purl one, and you will repeat it all the way to the end. So we will knit one and purl one, knit one, purl one. Now let's do it in English style. We will knit one and purl one, knit one, purl one, and repeat like this all the way to the end. I finished my row and I transferred all my stitches to 3 double pointed needles. I have 24 stitches here, 24 stitches here, and 22 stitches on the last one, okay? And now we will start knitting in a round, okay? So this is my end, this is where I finished. So I need to turn it around, okay? Put my yarn back there and connect it into circle, okay? Now I made sure that this is not twisted, okay? And we will start our first stitch and we will knit it. I usually actually do this little tiny tricks so I don't have a big hole there, that I twirl this initial stitch over here, the cast on, initial cast on stitch, couple times, and I knit it, place it on this needle, and I knit it together with the first stitch from my next row, okay? So this is my second row, and again I will knit and purl, entire row, knit and purl, okay? Now this is my second row, and I will knit and purl. After I'm finished with this row, I will knit and purl 12 more rows. So I will have 14 knit and purl rows, 14 rows of ribbing. So knit your 14 rows, and then we will continue knitting together again. Now I will switch to one size bigger needles, and I will knit 14 rows. So just knit entire row and do it 14 times, which means knit 14 rows. No purling, just knit around. So I am finished with my stockinette stitch over here. So as you know, I knitted 14 rows of ribbing and 14 rows of my stockinette stitch over here, which was in around all knit stitches. And now we are ready to decrease. we will decrease this way. We will knit 8 stitches and then we will knit 2 together. Knit 8 stitches and knit 2 together, okay? So let me show it to you first, continental style. So let's go and knit 8 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we will knit 2 together. And we will repeat this, okay? Every 8, we will always knit 8 stitches, knit 2 together. 8 stitches, knit 2 together. Let me show it to you in English style, okay? So we will knit 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we will knit 2 together, okay? And now I have to repeat again. So because we have 70 stitches and we're working with 10 stitches at a time, which means 8 stitches knitted and 2 together, that's total 10 stitches, and we did it 2 times, so we need to do it 5 more times, okay? So you just continue like this to the end of the row, and then we will knit 1 entire row, okay? So I am finished with my decreases in my first decreasing row, which is actually 29th row, and in a 30th row we will knit all the stitches. Just knit on all stitches on these 3 needles, and then we will start decreasing again. So knit all the stitches, okay, and then I'll show you how we will decrease in a row 31. Okay, so this is row 31, and we will decrease this way. We will knit 7 stitches and knit 2 together, and repeat that 6 more times, okay? So knit 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we will knit 2 together, okay? And repeat this 6 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, knit 2 together. This is our 32nd row, row 32, and we will knit again all stitches, no decreasing. Okay, so just knit 1 row, and then we will decrease again. In row 33 we will knit 6 and then knit 2 together. Knit 6 and knit 2 together, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we will knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and knit 2 together. Okay, and continue 5 more times. I did it 2 times now, so you do it 5 more times all the way to the end. Okay, this is row 34, and what we will do is we will decrease again, okay? This time we will knit 5 and then knit 2 together. So from now on there will be no rows in between our decrease rows, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and knit 2 together. And repeat this 6 more times. Okay, next row again, we will decrease. Now we will count 4 stitches and then knit 2 together and repeat that, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and knit 2 together. In this row we will knit 3 and then 2 together, okay? And repeat that. 1, 2, 3, and 2 together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 2 together. Knit 2 together, right? And 5 more times because we already did it 2 times, okay? I'm finished with my row, and now in this row we will knit 2 and then 2 together, okay? So 1, 2, and knit 2 together. 1, 2, and knit 2 together. And continue 5 more times. In this row we will knit 1 and then we will knit 2 together. 1 and now 2 together, okay? And 1 and now knit 2 together. I need to actually end up with 6 stitches, 2 stitches on each needle for our doodle. You see this doodle here, the long one, okay? So this is how we will solve the problem. We will knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And we will knit 2 together. Okay, let's go and put this one in here on this needle now. So we can knit these 2 together. Okay, we will knit these 2 together. And we will repeat this one more time because we have 14 stitches. So again, we will knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will knit 2 together. Okay. Now we will knit 4 and then knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will knit 2 together. Okay. We will repeat this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and knit 2 together. Okay. Now we will knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and we will knit 2 together. Okay. We will again knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and we will knit 2 together. Okay. Now let's go and move 1 stitch over here because it's going to be difficult on us. We'll have to start switching those stitches from one needle to another. Okay, now we need to knit 2, 1, 2, and knit 2 together. And if you have shorter needles, you can go and switch to shorter needles because these needles are really long, right? Now we will knit again 2, 1, 2, and knit 2 together. And we will knit 2 together. And I'm tightening up my stitches because I don't want it to be too wide between my needles, okay? So this was our last row of decreasing that we just finished. And and we have 6 stitches. So I will reshuffle my stitches so they are, so I have to start here. So let me go and move this stitch on this needle. And like I said, if you have shorter needles, switch to shorter needles. I do have actually shorter needles, so I could go and switch to shorter needles. See, if your needles are this long, it's going to be difficult. You see, I have these really short needles, so I'm going to go and actually move my stitches on these short needles. Okay, so you see, this is about how long we need to go and knit this really long piece, okay? So we could go and tie it later on. So, okay, so we will just knit around all the time, just knit, 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 and don't stop until you have about 4-inch long piece. You see, because it's shorter, I don't have to deal with really long needles. I am finished with my 4-inch straight tube, okay, this piece. And now what we need to do is start pulling this yarn in this direction, basically in a direction of knitting, okay? So what I will do is I will put my hook through these 2 stitches, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up and pinch it right there, okay, and take this needle out and put my hook in. Okay, it's easy because you're pinching it, it's not going to go anywhere. And then I will go and pull the yarn through these. Somebody's calling us. Okay, so I pulled through these 2 first stitches, and now I will repeat it with these 2 needles as well, okay? So I will again have to go from this side towards my loop over here. So I will pull these 2 stitches up and pinch them and pull my needle out, put my hook in there, okay, take my loop and pull it through both stitches. And we have to do this one more time. Okay. And now we just will tighten up, okay, and make a chain stitch or slip stitch. And I usually pull this end about almost as long as this tube, okay, and I cut it. And what we will do now is we will pull it into the tube, okay, just pull it into the tube. Okay, look, and I kind of stretched it so that end goes inside. Now because it's inside, and if you tie it, it will not undo. So here is our little doodle on the top of the hat, right? How cute is that? And now what we need to do is only finish this tail. That means we need to weave it in. Okay, we will weave it in right here. And I just go along this ribbing. I just weave it around each stitch. And here we go. We have a hat for a newborn baby, boy or a girl. So that's it. That's it for today. And again, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you another time.